Hello everyone, Mama Joyce here, coming to you straight from my kitchen. I'm gonna take you on a trip this afternoon or this evening, it doesn't matter. What day is it? Who knows? So we're gonna do a little bit of dancing, but I thought we're gonna mix it up a little bit. I mean, we're in Manchester, we're in Ashton on the line, but I am taking you on a trip all the way to Africa and all the way to the beautiful, most beautiful country of Congo. And we're not gonna stop in the capital. I'm taking you all the way down to my village. I'm taking you all the way down to my roots. We're going to do African dancing with a style. I'm taking you all the way down to the village of Bakongo, to a little beautiful tribe full of people, beautiful language, and we're going to do some of the traditional dancing. So obviously, I'm going to simplify a little bit so that we can do a little bit of dancing, a little bit of warm up in our houses. It's getting cold. And one thing you need to know about the Bakongo tribe, or Africans in general, we do a lot of call and response. We do a lot of storytelling through our movement, through our songs, through our music, and you just need to let yourself go and express yourself. So I'm going to take you through a series of simple steps, hopefully, that you can follow, that you can recreate, and you can just be you can show off at the next wedding, at the next birthday party, or just jam at home. Who knows? You can show off and be like, yeah, I can do some African moves. We're going to do a little bit of whining, a little bit of hand movements, and I'm going to take you on a step by step all the way through it. And as we say in my language, toleka. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is, first of all, what the song is talking about. The song is in a language called in Congo, a language spoken in Congo rather, which is Lingala. It's a very general language. Everybody in Congo practically speaks Lingala. And the chorus, which is my favorite part, says Tuzolana. And Tuzolana is in a language spoken by the Bakongo tribe. In Kikongo, Tuzolana means let's love one another. And what a better time to love one another than right now and to spread some love your way. So the first move I'm going to teach you is very basic. So what you need to do is you need to have your left hand, your left hand up here and your right hand down here. And all you do is you have to mimic the movement as well with your legs. So you go opposite, I think is what you do. So once you do left leg out, and your right hand out as well. So you kind of go right and you do the opposite. You go right leg out and left hand up. So the trick is you have to put some attitude into it. So wanna go 1, 2, 1, 2. Kind of simple, but how about you add a little bit of Bakongo and African attitude into it? So this is what you do. So you go 1 and then you go 2, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Very basic. So we do it for probably 8 counts or more, depending on how you feel the music. And if that's all you want to do, that's fine too, because the trick is down here, because we do a lot of this when we're dancing. So when you're doing the movement and the music is quite fast, so you go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and you had the hips. You add the hips. A bit of attitude, because the story this song talks about is like, how come we can't just love each other and have a little bit of a jam and a little bit of a dancing, and that's all you do. So that's the first move. And after that move, the second move after that, we do a lot of clapping, we do a lot of clicking, we do a lot of big hand gestures. So after this movement, the next step that you need to know is very basic. All you do is pick it up from the floor. It's almost like you're about to, I know it sounds mean, but like you're about to hit a fly. And then all you do is clap, lift it up, and drop it. That's all it is. So hold it, lift it up, and drop it. Clap, hold it, lift it up, and drop it. But the trick is you also have to do it fast, and the hip go with it. So you go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. But when you drop it, make sure you drop it on the flat so that your hands are facing down, your palms are facing down. So you go pick and drop and pick and drop. And when you add the hips to it, it gives pick and drop and pick, and drop. That's the movement. So we're going to do the first step, which is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and pick and drop and pick and drop. So when you do the pick and drop, here's the trick. You go pick and drop, and then you climb up a tree. So pick, drop, climb, climb. Pick, drop, climb, climb. Very basic, right? So that's the first 3 movements that we need to learn. How about we try with some music maybe? Let's do it. So I'm just gonna put it on. And make sure you wear something light to help the movement. That's the trick. So usually we wait for it. You can say hi to people as you're walking in the party, knowing that you've got the best moves. Let's do this. So you go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and drop it. Pick up, drop, climb, climb. And again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Pick up, drop, climb, climb. Pick up, drop, climb, climb. How does that sound? And how does that look? I bet you're smashing this at home, right? Because the next bit is the fun bit again. Right, so I hope those 3 moves, and guess what? There's no right or wrong. You can mix them up. You can start with the other before the other one. As long as you get these steps, and you're going to be looking great at the next party, because guess what? These moves, they work with any kind of music anyway. So the next bit we're going to learn is the chorus. The chorus bit is very basic, very easy, and it's talking about let's love one another. So what we do, because to love somebody, you're calling people out, come on, let's love one another. Let's love one another. And this is probably one of the moves, the most common move for this kind of music. For my tribe, we do a lot of, as you've probably noticed, a lot of hand gestures. So the move is very simple and very basic. So all you have to do is wave up and wave down, wave up, wave down. That's all it is. But you kind of have to get the hands flowing a little bit. So here how it goes. You just go 1, 2. So it's almost like you're calling people out. So you're saying, come on, let's love one another. And that's all you're doing. But the next bit that comes with it, that makes it a little bit tricky, is you have to step forward and step back with it. So I'm going to do the legs separate from the arms so you can see both. So the arms go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the legs now, they're not just going to stand here. So what you're going to do with the legs is go 1, 2, 3, 4. Step, 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 step. Kind of like a swing and a swing and a swing and a swing. That's all you're doing. And then you add the arm movements to it. So you go 1, 2, and up. 1, 2. And you can see how I'm kind of bringing my hip into it. So when you go forward, you kind of stick out the hip. And that's it. And if you want to take it a little bit further, rather than having just one leg stepping forward, you can have both of your legs stepping. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and. Whichever you find easier. I personally, because the music is fast, I prefer to just go with one leg. But sometimes when I feel the music, I just jam with it. Whichever one is easier. And that's what we're going to do throughout the chorus. And obviously, because it's such an easy move, you can change it whichever way you want. But mix it up. You can make it whichever way you want. There's no right or wrong. So that's pretty much the whole thing. The second part of it is a slight change. But how about we just do this bit to try it out? So just a reminder, the first step, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Second step is pick up, drop it, climb, climb, pick up, drop it, climb, climb. And the third move is the wave. Call and wave, call and wave. So step, 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 step. Remember the hip. So it's almost like you're waving a flag, or I don't know, just being gracious about it. But obviously, you can add a little bit of a bounce to it if you want to. So those are the steps that we've done. So I'm gonna double the speed so that we can see it all together. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and pick up, drop, climb, climb, pick up, drop, climb, climb, and 1, 2, throw, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then just to end the chorus, we're gonna add a bit of attitude. So you go, because it says, oh yeah, yeah, Zolana. And the word yaya, we use it could mean older brother, older sister. So anybody older than you call them yaya. And then what I'm saying is, big brother, big sister, let's love one another. That's what the chorus says. So at the end, she goes, oh yeah, yeah, Zolana. So you could go, oh yeah, yeah, Zolana. Yeah, you're like, come on. Why not get along? Why not love one another? Okay? So we're going to try it out with the music. I hope you're following just fine and having fun with it as much as I am. So let's go. So let's wait for it. Feel it. Let it sink in. You're in a nice village. You can smell the mangoes, the breeze. Let's go. 1. Ready? Pick up, drop, climb, climb, pick up, drop, climb, and again. Go. Add some attitude to it. Bring the hips out. Oh yeah, yes. Hey. Now you see? Very easy, right? But imagine you don't have to exactly do all the moves. You can bounce it off and bounce it. Whichever way feels natural. The thing is, you're getting some nice moves that you can dance at your next wedding. God knows we need a party out there, don't we? So we're going to learn the next bit. The only change now is because when she's speaking, she says something different. And she talks about, in the book of the Bible, God has told us we need to love one another. Why can't we do that? So we're going to change the steps a little bit. So you're going to imagine you're holding a book, a Bible, whichever you want, and you're showing it to people. So you're going, look. See, it says it right here. You got to love me. You got no choice. We're stuck together, kind of thing. So that's the step. Very basic. 1, 2, 3. So whatever your arms are doing, you're kind of mimicking that with your legs. So you're going 1, 2, 3, and cross, cross, cross. Step, step, up. Cross, cross, cross. And that's it. And remember, the most important bit is the hips. Always bring in the hips. Forget the hands, forget the legs, never forget the hips. That's just wrong, you see. You cannot do this without the hips. That's what the secret is. So you go 1, 2, and that's how fast we will go. And you kind of loosen up the shoulder like you don't want to do it, but you somehow just have to do it. So you got to loosen up the shoulders, loosen up your body, and then just go 1, 2. So if we was to start it really slow and then speed it up a little bit, you can bring the shoulders in first. You're kind of doing a shimmy, semi-speedy shimmy, and then add the hips to it. And your whole body's just like in a trance. And that's what you're doing. You see? And then after that, all you do, again, she says the oh yeah, yeah, Zolana. We're going to do our secret move, which is the pick up, drop, climb, climb. And then we go back to the chorus again. So let's put it all together. That's the only next move we need to learn. Ooh. So remember the shimmy, loosen up. Now pick up, drop it, climb, climb again. Remember, just loosen up. There's no right or wrong. Pick up. Again. That's our secret move. And then hips out. Remember, oh yeah, yeah. So, hey, we do it again. If you don't want to do the arms, you can just go. Pick up. Again. You can even do it slow. You don't have to go fast. Again. Very basic. Now we're going to learn the very last part. Because all these movements, you just repeat it over and over and over. Because what's the point of having too many moves and forget them? You just need like 5, 6 great ones that you can play around with. So the next bit, you use a lot of your hips. So you're going to use your legs and your hips. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Step forward, lean forward, center, back, lean back, and center. That's all you do. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the next bit. And what comes after that? A bit of hip action. I think this might be one of my favorite parts. Did I say favorite part already? Never mind. So here's what it is. So it's almost like you're tying a knot and you're bringing it down to you. So you tie it up here and then you pull it down. You gotta make that bow nice and clean and pull it up, down. Tie it up, pull it down. Tie it up, pull it down. So what you do is a little bit fast. So you go 1, 2, and you can see the hips are kind of doing what my arms are also doing. So I'm tying it and bringing it down. Roll it, pull it down, roll it, pull it down, roll it, put it down. So first move, step and step and step and step and step, 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 step. Next, tie, pull, tie, pull, tie, pull, tie, pull. Third step after that, you go step, back. Remember the hip. You do it 4 times. And the 5th time, there's a trick. You kind of drop it, boom. Like people are going to go like, what? What did you just do? Do that again. So you go very nice and easy. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is the 5th one that you drop a little bit. And that's it. And when you do the drop, just go as low as you can. Because it might be difficult to get up again. So don't go too low. If you don't want to go too low, play with the hips. Just go bam. That does the trick too. Okay? So the step is, and it goes really quick as well. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and drop it 5. And remember, I'm using my back leg as support and I'm swinging it. So it's giving me enough kind of weight to lean on. So I'm not kind of going backwards. So I'm kind of just going bam. I'm sliding this and standing on the ball point. So it gives me a bit of support. Okay? Now that we know all the steps, we're going to try and do it to the music. And just to remind ourselves, the first step, after we've done all the first bit and the Tuzolana, so we ended up kind of right about there. So the next bit, because you kind of done that, it gives you kind of the floor ready to go to the next step, which is, so you go step, 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 step. And again, you got to do the shoulders and you got to do the hips. It just doesn't work without it. You got to give it some attitude, like, add a little bit of a bounce to it. You can add the hips if you want. But bear in mind, the music is quite fast, so a bit of hip action there might hurt a little bit. But, you know, you never know if you can do it. Why not? Why not? I mean, why not? So that's the first step. So you go step, 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 step. And the next bit is the bow. Tie it, pull it, tie it, pull it, tie it, pull it, tie it, pull it. How does that look? That look okay? I forgot to remind us of the last move. So it's a step, step. So it's 4 steps before the dip. So that's my 4th. So the 5th step and you dip. Okay? So let's try it out. So I'm gonna go from the ending of the Tuzolana. Remember the hips. So you're calling people like, come on, come to me, come to me. You can add the bounce here too. Let's go. And see my hips and the shoulders. So it's call and response. So here you can. We're gonna do the bow. Tie, pull, tie, pull, tie. You can drop it a little bit. If you can't do the hips, use the shoulders. It gives the same effect. So right now I'm actually doing the shoulders. Last movement. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and the dip. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, and ooh. If you don't want to do the dip, you can do like a, yeah. And this one is it's like a war cry, okay? So you're gonna hold out the very last bit before we go into freestyling. So you're gonna hold out your left hand, like you're calling people, and then you're gonna use your right hand to call people from the back. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam. That's it, okay? So it's like a bit war cry. When she goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam. Or clap, clap, whichever way you want to call it. And then from that point on, we go to freestyle. So let's try it out. That's right after we finish the dip movement. So I'm gonna go back just a tiny little bit. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam, bam. And from this point on, feel free to freestyle it. You can start all the movements all over again from the beginning if you want to. You can use this. It works just as the same. You can use the bow. You can use the forwards and back. You can even turn it around. You can do whatever you want from this point. So how about we do the whole thing from the beginning? And as you can see, a lot of it happened on the hips and on the hands. It doesn't matter what you do. I'm calling people. Let's love each other. Whatever you want to do this point, remember there's just a lot of shoulder action. There's just a lot of hip action. As long as you keep it low, you're good. You can even use you know, like all the old school movements. Ooh, and just add the hips to it. Just works as fine. Okay, so now we've learned all the moves, and remember, there's no right or wrong. You can mix them up. Nobody's gonna notice if you forget the moves, because if you don't tell, I won't tell. So we're fine. So just to remind ourselves of all the moves, and then we're gonna do it from the beginning till the end. And once you feel the rhythm, you feel the beat, add your little freestyle to it. Whatever you feel like doing, doesn't matter. So like we said, first move was this. And then we had the pick up and drop it movement and climb. So pick up, drop, climb, climb, pick up, drop, climb, climb. And then the next step that we had was that one. So you bring the hips forward and back. Remember, the trick is the hips. Hips or shoulders, basically attitude. You just add a little bit of attitude into it. Like imagine you're in like a Beyonce movie or something like that. Beyonce, what do you call it again? Music videos. That's the one. You're like in a Beyonce music video. You're just feeling yourself like bounce it off whichever way you want. And then we have our magic one, which is Tuzolana. We do that. So we might do this quite for a long time. So feel free to mix it up however you feel. If you don't want to do the arms up anymore, you can just do the shoulders. Still looks as good. And then the next movement, remember, is the hold the book and call people out. So you go, hey, come over here, look at this. And then we still have the pick up, drop, climb, climb. And after that, we still have our Tuzolana, which is, remember, this is the chorus. So every time it comes up, we still do the same movement again and again. And after we've done this, we might do this for a couple of times. That's when we're gonna change to our next move. And our next move is step, 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 step forward, back, forward, center, back, center, forward, center, back, center. After that, you have the tie the bow, pull, tie the bow, pull, tie the bow, pull, tie the bow, pull. And then you have the side to side swing. So 4 side to side steps. And then the 5th one, you swing it down, dip or swing, whichever one you want to call it. And then bring it down. We might do this for a while. And from that point forward, you can mix it up a little bit until we get to the point of doing our call and response. So remember, left hand forward and right hand calling out from the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam, or clap, clap. So you do that twice. And the 3rd time you count, it's a count of 8. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam. So altogether kind of 8 counts. Once you've done that, you're free. Freestyle it. So how about we try it with the music? Yes. Remember, feel the music first. Whichever comes first, it doesn't matter. Remember, and clap. Again. Call them out. Come and check me out. Out to Tuzolana. Again, then we do the come and see. And you can bring it down. We're gonna pick up, drop, climb, climb, pick up, drop, climb, climb. And then that's our chorus. And I'm going back to this beginning because I feel like it. We're gonna pick up, drop. And from the top. Chorus. remember I'm using my chest to kind of put it forward as well. And we're back to the second one. Pick up, drop. Pick up, drop. Remember, no right or wrong. Pick it up. And then the hips. Make it flow, very gracious. You can even go slow. Or you can go faster. Make it bounce. And the trick is, if you move your head side to side as well, it just looks like you know it. It don't matter about the legs. I'm using the two-step. I'm just mixing it up at the shoulders. We're going to our last bit. Step, forward, forward, middle, forward, center, back, center. See, I'm just bouncing it. Use the shoulders. We're gonna go and tie the bow. Ready? Tie, pull, 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 tie, pull. And last one, step, 4 step and a dip. 4 and dip. 1, 2, 3, 4, and dip. 1, bounce it off. 4. I'm gonna dip like this. Woo, what do I see? The last bit, call and response. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, and. 1, 2, 3, and. And here, from here on, you can just freestyle it. So I'm just gonna use the first of the movements that we've done to freestyle it. I'm not even gonna use my legs. And I'm kind of bouncing it off. As long as you add the attitude, that's all you need. You can turn it around. And if you can't do the hips, just use the body movement. You don't have to go fast. You can go slow. And I'm gonna just use all the movements of everything that we've done. And you don't even have to go this fast. You can make it go slow. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Turn it around. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. You've literally done a full workout, first of all. It's cold outside. And second of all, you've just learned a full-on traditional African Congolese dance from the Bakongo tribe. I hope you enjoyed it. I was Mama Joyce, bringing you flavors and culture from all the way from Africa into my kitchen in Ashton-on-the-Line. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, there's no right or wrong about this. As long as you enjoy it, you have fun with it, show off at a few parties, share the love, share the culture. And I'll see you soon.
So Mama Joyce is a multidisciplinary artist who's played a large part in many of Amani Creatives' projects. She's particularly known for her singing and her dancing, and for Amani Go Digital, she has produced an online African dance class. So I described you there as a multidisciplinary artist. Mm-hmm. So I know you as a dancer, I know you as a vocalist, I know you as a compere. Are there any other art forms you practiced?
Oh, well, that's a really good question, Geli. I don't know. I guess, like you say, I do fusion will probably be the word to describe it because I like to play with all kinds of art. I do live art as well, funnily enough, which I've not done in a long time. But if I was to say, really, I think you've described me pretty well there, Geli. So I think a vocalist is definitely one thing that I do quite a lot, and especially with Amani. Dancing, of course, not just African dance. I've done contemporary, I've done street, dare I say a little bit of ballet. But that was a very, very long time ago. And as you say, compare as well, live art as well included into it.
So what's live art?
Oh, well, live art speaks for itself, really. And it's basically bringing art to life. So if I could give you a simple example, live art, whichever way you want to call it, live art is basically using any space, well, which is what I used to do anyway, using any living space to create art. So just like we did today, it was kind of a little bit like live art. So using my kitchen as a space to bring it to life in some kind of way.
So what is the most unusual space you've ever used for art, apart from your kitchen?
The most unusual space would be an abandoned university dorm. Yes, and it was one of my live art project for university. So was to recreate the life of the university at the time when they used to use the building. So we kind of recreated the life from the outside. So we had everybody stand on the outside, and then we recreated the dorms, created memories inside. So when people would walk in, it looked like somebody had left some memories and some clues for them. It was kind of lovely because we got to talk to some of the professors to get some history, if I could call it, about some of the students who used to attend the university at the time when the building was in use. And based on what we gathered and based on ourselves as well as students at the time, we kind of recreated some of these rooms, and then we had the audience kind of stand outside and kind of bring the building to life, as in putting lights into it and music and people talking inside, and it was interesting. Yeah, so that was my most unusual place.
I'm a very, very mean Prime Minister, a bit like our friend. So, I'm only going to allow you to do one art form. Which one are you going to choose?
Oh, Geli. Oh. Well, I think I'll pick dancing.
What made you, I'm going back a little bit, I'm going to go back to your dancing in a minute, but what made you decide, or at what point in your life did you decide on an artistic career?
Well, I think I cannot pinpoint the moment, but I could definitely say if I had to pick a moment, it will probably be around my college years. And that's just because through art, I discovered myself. I was going through quite a lot at the time, and I had a brilliant, most annoying art teacher who wouldn't leave me alone. But I guess at the time she had every right, because through art she taught me how to express myself in a different way that I didn't know I could. Because I was surrounded by music all my life, and I could say art in a sense, but not in that aspect. She made me discover that I could say things without words using art. I could express emotions. I could tell a whole story without having to open my mouth. And, you know, being a teenager / adult, you're in college, you're going through all sorts. And it was a very way to kind of express myself without having to say a lot. And I didn't realize how peaceful and fun and expressive, and it was just an endless journey, and I enjoyed it. And I think that was the moment I decided, I said, I want to do this.
What I've noticed about you is that everything you do is a story. It's very strong in you. When you sing a song, you're really expressing emotion. And today we've been having a little bit of a preview of your dance, online dance thing, and you're telling stories through your dance. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about the African dances that you do.
Well, you've seen me dance most of the time, and one thing I like about the African dance that I personally like to do is exactly the storytelling. It goes with kind of what I started doing in college, you see. It says a lot without having to open your mouth. Your body is telling a story. The movements are telling a story. And I like taking people on a journey, because I always feel like if there's no story, there's no journey. You need, when you go through, even in life, if you have no story, there's no journey. I find it boring. So the thing that attracted me mostly to African dance is not just the fact that I'm African, but it's that side of things. Everything tells a story. It doesn't need to be a sad story. It doesn't need to be a happy story. It could just be a story. It could be, this is how I woke up in the morning, and then I had breakfast, and then this is what happened in my day. Or it could be from when I was born, this is how life used to be, and now this is how life is.
How has COVID-19 affected you as an artist?
Oh, golly, I'm sad. I miss the space. Because art is all about reaching out to people. You might not be able to reach out to them physically by holding them, but being in the same space as people, sharing that energy, sharing the vibe. And we can't do any of that right now. I mean, it was great to be back to performing in some way today, but it's still, you don't have the people to share it with. The energy is different, and that's what I miss the most. We can't share the energy.
Well, there's people out there that want to share you, so how can they get hold of you online?
Well, they can get hold of me online by going on the Amani website. You can look me up on Facebook with Amani as well. I think the easiest way for anybody to reach me basically will be through Amani platform, or even yourself, why not? I think Geli would be the best person to go to, but if anybody wants to reach out to me, you can also reach out to me on Instagram, Mama Joyce. I think Mama Joyce as one word, and the E is a number 3. Just because I decided to be a bit funky with that. So either through Amani or on Instagram.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely talking to you again.
And you too, Geli.